If you love ice cream, mainly vanilla, because of this news you will probably forget it for a while. The mix that makes this cold dessert so delicious is usually milk, cream, sugar and sometimes egg. An ingredient that many do not share with the public is called castoreum, which is a compound that beavers use to mark their territory. You can find this ingredient in other things, like perfumes, and certain artificial flavorings such as vanilla, raspberry and strawberry, and many other products. Due to its FDA label, in some cases, some manufacturers don't have to list castoreum on the ingredient list, and may instead refer to it as natural flavoring. It is normal to go out with your friends on a cold night to make a bonfire, and roast some marshmallows on a wooden stick. What do these little white foam really contain? Not many people know this, and the truth is that many of the confectionery industries will not tell their secrets. Years ago, they were made based on a flour called marshmallow, but in the recent version, many other things are being added. It is well known that gelatin is used to give it that slight texture of cloud, which is made from turned boil skin, and bone remains of cows and pigs, left over from the meat industry. Who doesn't love mac and cheese? The answer, of course, is nobody. But one of the world's most popular snacks may also be one of the unhealthiest. Studies have found harmful chemicals called phthalates in mac and cheese samples. Phthalates are most commonly added to plastic to make it flexible, and they're also added to makeup and perfume, because they notoriously hold on to smell and color extremely well. Acrylamide is formed when starch-rich foods are fried, baked, grilled or toasted at high temperatures. It has been found in a wide range of home-cooked and processed foods, including potato crisps, French fries, bread, crisp breads and coffee. A report from the Food Standards Agency states that these chemicals have the potential to cause cancer even at very low levels of exposure, and experts advise that exposure to these processed contaminants should be as low as reasonably practicable. A meal, sold in a pre-cooked form that only requires reheating, is called as ready meals. Ready meal industry is fully automated, and comes from a long industry chain. Meat, veggies, and fish are often frozen, then cooked and marketed as fresh, when in reality they could have been frozen for years. Packed sandwiches often contain powdered eggs that can be easily transformed into liquid, crystallized, quick frozen, and more. Still want to grab one of those ready meals? If you like beer, then you might want to skip this one. Beer production has been around for more than 700 years, and the truth is that most people love it. However, the brewing companies add a product called Isinglass, which comes from the skin of a fish and makes the liquid produced become clearer. You are much better off drinking the Yoni beer from Katowice, Poland. That beer is made from the vaginal lactic acid of hot underwear models. The idea is that since beer and vaginas have the same level of acidity, of around 4.5 pH, you can create a beer using the lactobacillus bacteria found in a woman's private area. This way, you avoid the isinglass ingredient, and enjoy the fluids of top models. As kids, there was no bigger treat than your parents taking you to McDonald's for a chicken McNugget Happy Meal. But, now once you learn how these delicious nuggets are made, you may think twice about ever eating them again. McDonald's uses non-free-range chickens. This means that the chickens are raised in tight quarters, and most likely juiced up with antibiotics and hormones, to make them bigger. Of the 30 ingredients in the McNugget, many are toxic and dangerous, such as sodium aluminum phosphate, and dimethyl polysilicon, which is a silicone substance used in sealants and breast implants. So, you may want to put the Happy Meal down, and have a hot dog instead. With the Yoni beer. Why not? That is if you don't already know how unhealthy hot dogs are. Hot dogs are made of processed meat, and they're loaded with cholesterol-raising, saturated fat, and sodium. It is linked to a greater risk of colorectal cancer. Even wine is not safe from weird and gross additives. Animal rights group PETA warns on their website that many wines include blood and bone marrow, milk protein, fiber from crustacean shells, egg albumin, fish oil, protein from boiling animal parts, and isinglass from fish bladder membranes. Since wineries are not required to disclose the ingredients of each bottle, you may never know what you're really drinking. Did you know that salad dressing may contain titanium dioxide, which can be found in sunscreens as well? If you consume it excessively, it can make you sick. You may have heard of pink slime, but did you know that it's in your ground beef? A lot of supermarkets add this filler, made out of ammonia-coated beef trimmings, which lowers the cost of the ground beef, at least for the people supplying it. You won't see this ingredient on the label either, since it's still meat. Its proper name is lean finely textured beef. Supermarkets are free to dupe the public into thinking they are purchasing fresh ground beef. Let me tell you how it is created. Once a cow has been butchered and disassembled into the various cuts, some fatty trimmings always remain. Traditionally, these have been used for pet food. However, an American company developed a process to convert the trimmings into what it calls boneless lean beef. These fatty portions are separated by spinning in a sophisticated centrifuge, leaving behind the muscle tissue, which is then ground into a slurry that is roughly 94% lean beef. This pink slime is then frozen into chips or blocks, ready to be incorporated into hamburger or into processed luncheon meats. Meat trimmings are particularly susceptible to bacterial contamination, hence the right amount of ammonia needs to be used, otherwise it will either be poisonous or toxic.